Galatians 5:14. For the whole law is fulfilled in one word: you shall love your neighbor as yourself.
My heart is disturbed, and I was dropped down from out of its place. Hear a report in anger of rage of the Lord, and meditation from out of his mouth shall come forth. Underneath all the heavens is his sovereignty, and his light is upon the wings of the earth. After him a voice shall yell out. He shall thunder with the sound of his insult, and he shall not bargain them, that one shall hear his voice. The strong one will thunder wonders with his voice. He establishes a season for animals, and they know the order of the fold. Upon all these things your thought is not receded, nor is your heart reconciled with your body, for he did great things which we knew not, ordering the snow, saying, Be upon the earth, and the winter rain of his command. In the hand of every man he seals up, that every man should know his own weakness. The wild beasts entered under the protection, and are tranquil in their lair. From out of inner chambers come griefs, and from extremities chilliness. From the breath of the strong one he points ice, and he steers the water wherever he wants. A chosen cloud plasters over, then his light disperses the cloud. He shall turn aside the swirls by his rule, for performing their works, all as much as he should give charge to them. These things were ordered by him upon the earth, whether for instruction, whether for his land, whether for an object of his mercy, he shall find it. Give ear to these things, O Job. Stand admonished by the power of the Lord. We know that God establishes his works, making light out of darkness, and he knows the distinction of clouds, and the extraordinary calamitous downfalls of the wicked. Your apparel is hot, but there is tranquility upon the earth from the south. Will you just solidify with him for things grown old, things which are strong as the vision of a vessel? Why teach me? What shall we say to him? Then let us cease from saying much. Is there a book or scribe standing beside me, that standing I should quell a man? But the light is not visible to all. It is radiant among the things grown old, as if from him upon the clouds. From the north are clouds shining like gold, and in these the glory and honor from the Almighty is great. We do not find another likened to his strength. The one judging justly, do not imagine that he listens. Therefore men shall fear him, and even the wise in heart shall fear him. After the ceasing of the speech of Elihu, the Lord said to Job through a tempest and cloud, saying, Who is this hiding counsel, constraining matters to heart, and imagines to hide from me? Tie up your loin as a man, and I will ask you, and you will answer. Where were you in my laying the foundation of the earth? And report to me, if you should have knowledge of understanding. Who established the measures of it, if you know? Or who is it, the one bringing a measuring cord upon it? Upon what are its hooks pitched on? And who is the one laying an angular foundation stone upon it? When the stars came to pass, all my angels praised me with a great voice. And I shut up the sea with gates. When it was led irresistibly going forth out of its mother's belly, I established the clouds for its clothing, and fog for its being swaddled. I established limits for it. I put in place bolts and gates, and I said to it, Unto this sphere you shall come, and shall not pass over, and within yourself your waves shall break. For by you have I ordered the early morning brightness. Did the morning star behold his own order, to take hold of the wings of the earth, and to shake off the impious from it? Or did you, having taken earth's clay, shape a living creature, and establish the power of speech to it upon the earth? Have you removed the light from the impious, and broke the arm of the proud? Did you come unto the spring of the sea, and walk in the tracks of the deep? Do the gates of death open to you in fear? And did gatekeepers of Hades, in beholding you, become alarmed? Have you been admonished about the breadth under heaven? Announce it indeed to me, how great it is, and of what kind of land lodges the light, and darkness what kind of place. If you could lead me into their limits, and even if you know their paths, have you known that it is so then because you were born, and the number of your years were great? But did you come unto the treasures of snow? Have you seen the treasures of hail? It is reversed to you for the hour of the enemies, for the day of war and battle. And from what place goes forth the frost, or the south wind is dispersed into the places under heaven? Who prepared the flows of the fierce rain, and away an uproar, to rain upon the land of which there is no man, the wilderness of which there is no man existing in it, so as to fill the untrodden and uninhabited land, and the causing to sprout forth the issue of tender shoots? Who is the rain's father, and who is the one giving birth to droplets of dew? From out of whose womb comes forth the ice, and who gave birth to the frost in the heaven, which comes down as if in water flowing? Who alarmed the face of the abyss? Do you perceive the bonds of Pleiades, and do you open the barrier over Orion? Or will you open Muzaroth in its time, and Hesperus with its tail, will you lead it? Do you know the circuits of heaven, or the things taking place with one accord under heaven? Will you call a cloud by voice, and in trembling will the fierce waters of rain obey you? Will you send thunderbolts, and will they go forth? And shall they say to you, what is it? Who gave women wisdom for a woven work, or skill for embroidery? Who is the one counting clouds in wisdom, and leaned the heavens into the earth? It is poured as earth's powder, and I have claved it as a stone club. Will you hunt a prey for the lions, and fill up the souls of the dragons? For they are in all in their lairs, and they sit in the woods lying in wait. Who prepared carrion for its crow? For its young and wandering cry out to the Lord, seeking grace. Do you know the time of the birthing of the antelopes of the rock? And did you watch the birth pangs of hinds? Did you count their full months of birthing, and did you untie their birth pangs? Did you nourish their offspring outside of fear? And will you send away their birth pangs? Their young shall rip forth, and they shall be multiplied in offspring. Their young will go forth, and in no way shall return to them. Who is the one letting the wild donkey free, and who untied his bonds? For I established for his habitation a wilderness, and the salt flats for his tents. He ridicules the great multitude of the city, and hears not the complaints of the tribute gatherer. He shall survey the mountains as his pasture, and he seeks after every green thing. Shall the unicorn be willing to serve to you, or to sleep at your stable? Will you tie his yoke with straps, or will he draw furrows in the plains? Do you rely upon him because his strength is great? Or will you slacken your works for him? Do you trust that he will give back to you the seed and carry it into your threshing floor? The wind delighting ostriches, but should the stork conceive in feathers? For she shall let her eggs go unto the earth, and she shall incubate upon the dust. She shall forget that the foot will disperse them, and the wild beasts of the field will trample them. She hardened against her offspring, so as to not bereave herself. In vain she tired without fear. For God quelled her wisdom, and portioned not to her with understanding. In time she will raise up high in height, and she will ridicule the horse and the rider. Or did you invest the horse with power, or clothe his neck in fear? Did you invest in him full armor, and the glory of his beast in daring? He prances, rooting up in the plain, and he goes forth into the plain in strength. He ridicules meeting up with spears, and in no way turns from an iron weapon. Against him prance the bow and sword, and in anger he shall obliterate the ground. In no way shall he trust unto whatever the trumpet signifies, and with the trumpet signifying he says, well done. At a distance he smells war with leaping and crying out. And from your higher knowledge does the hawk sit having the look of effrontery with wings fixed looking down toward the south? As your order does the eagle rise up high, and does the vulture sit lodged upon its nest, upon the prominence of the rock, and is concealed, and being at that place he seeks grain. His eyes watched at a distance, and his young befoul themselves in blood. Wherever one's dying might be, immediately they are found. And the Lord God responded to Job, and said, shall you judge a judgment with the fit one? One reproving God shall he answer to him? And undertaking, Job said to the Lord, why still do I plead, being admonished and reproved by the Lord, hearing such things and being nothing? I, what answer shall I give to these things? I shall put a hand upon my mouth. Once I have spoken, but for a second time I will not proceed. And again undertaking, the Lord spoke to Job from out of the cloud, saying, but no, tie up your loin as a man. I will ask you, and then you answer me. Or should you undo my judgment? Do you imagine me otherwise executing things with you? Or that you should appear just? Or is your arm as the arm of the Lord? Or do you thunder with a voice as his? Then lift yourself up in stature and power, clothe yourself with glory and honor, and send angels in anger, and humble all the arrogant. Extinguish the proud man, and cause the impious to rot immediately. Hide them in the earth with one accord, and the things of their face fill with dishonor. Indeed, I shall acknowledge surely that your right hand is able to deliver. But indeed, behold, the wild beast by you, it eats grass equal to oxen. Behold, indeed, his strength is in his loin, and his power is in his navel of his belly. He sets his tail as a cypress, and his nerves are closely joined. His sides are sides of brass, and his spine is as cast iron. This is the beginning of the things shaped by the Lord, being made to be mocked by his angels. Coming upon a chiseled mountain, he produces a cause for joy to the four-footed in the infernal region. Under all kinds of trees he sleeps, by the papyrus and the reed and the flowering rush, trees shadow in him with scions and branches of the chastity tree. If there becomes an inundation, in no way should he be perceived. He relies that the Jordan will rush up into his mouth. In his eye will one take him. Being caught in a snare, will you drill his nose? And shall you lead the dragon by a hook, and put a halter around his nose? Or will you tie a hook in his nose, and will you make a hole in his lip for a clasp? He will speak to you earnestly, supplication softly. Will he establish a covenant with you? Will you take him for an everlasting servant? Will you play with him as a bird, or will you bind him as a sparrow for a child? Do nations feed in him, and do the nations of the Phoenicians partition him? Everything afloat, coming together, in no way shall bear the hide of this one tail, nor in the boats of fishermen shall they bear his head. But shall you place a hand on him, remembering the war taking place in his body, and let it no longer take place? Have you not seen him, nor wondered over the one speaking? Are you not in awe that it has been prepared by me? Or for who is the one opposing me? Who shall oppose me and remain, since all under heaven is mine? I will not keep silent because of him, and the word of power shall show mercy equal to him. Who will uncover the front of his clothing, and into the fold of his chestplate who can enter? Who will open the gates of his face? Round about his teeth is fear. His insides are as shields of brass, and his sinews are as emery stones. One of one cleaves together, and wind in no way goes through it. As a man to his brother, they shall be cleaved. They are held together, and in no way draw apart. And his sneezing brightness shines forth, and his eyes are as the appearance of the morning star. From out of his mouth burning lamps shall go forth, and scattered grates of fire. From out of his nostrils cometh forth smoke of a furnace burning with coals of fire. His soul is as live coals, and a flame goes forth from out of his mouth. In his neck lodges power. Destruction runs before him, and the flesh of his body cleaves tightly. If one pours down upon him, he will not be shaken. His heart is fixed as stone, and he stands as an anvil, not malleable, and his turning gives fear to the four-footed wild beasts leaping upon the earth. If lances should meet up with him, nothing in any way shall terrify by spear and chestplate, for he esteems iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. In no way shall the bow of brass pierce him. He esteems a slinger indeed as grass. Hammers are considered as stubble, and he ridicules the quaking of a fire-bearer. His strewn bed is out of sharp points, and all the gold of the sea under him is as untold mud. The abyss breaks out as a brazen cauldron, and he esteems the sea as an ointment jar. The infernal region of the abyss is as if a captive. He considers the abyss for a promenade. There is not anything upon the earth like unto him, being made to be mocked at by my angels. Every lofty thing he sees, he is king of all the things in the water. Undertaking, Job said to the Lord, I know that in all things you are able, and nothing is powerless to you. For who is the one hiding your counsel, and sparing words, and imagines to hide you? Who announces to me things which I knew not, great and wonderful things which I had no knowledge? But hear me, O Lord, for I also shall speak, and I will ask you, and you teach me. Hearing indeed in my ear, I heard of you formerly, but now my eyes see you. Therefore I treated myself as worthless, and I was melted away. I esteemed myself earth and ashes. And it came to pass after the Lord speaking all these words to Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz the Temanite, And you sinned and your two friends, for you spoke not anything before me true as my attendant Job. Now take 7 calves and 7 rams, go to my attendant Job, and he shall offer a yield offering for you. For in no way shall I receive of his favor, but on account of him I would have destroyed you. For you did not speak true concerning my attendant Job. They went Eliphaz the Temanite, and Bildad the Shuhite, and so far the Minian. They went as the Lord ordered them, and he dismissed their sin because of Job. The Lord increased Job, and is making a vow because of it being his friends, he forgave to them the sin. And the Lord gave double as much as was Job's before doubling. And all his brothers and his sisters heard all the things coming to pass to him. He came to him even all as many as knew him at first, and eating and drinking with him, they comforted him. They wondered upon all which the Lord brought upon him, and they each gave to him 1 ewe lamb, and a 4 drachma piece of unmarked gold. The Lord blessed the latter end of Job than the former, and his cattle was 10,000, 4,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 teams of oxen, 1,000 female grazing donkeys. And there were born to him 7 sons and 3 daughters. He called the first Day, the second Keziah, the third Amathaliah's horn, and they were not found according to the daughters of Job better than them among the places under heaven. Their father gave to them an inheritance among the brethren. Job lived after the calamity 140 years. Job saw his sons and the sons of his sons to the fourth generation. And Job came to an end an old man and full of days. The sayings of an ecclesiastic son of David, king of Israel in Jerusalem. Folly of follies, said the ecclesiastic, folly of follies, all things are folly. For what is abundance to man in all his trouble, in which he is troubled under the sun? A generation goes, and a generation comes, and the earth is established into the eon. The sun rises. In its rising, it goes forth to the south, and it circles to the north. The wind circles going circling, and as it circuits, the wind returns. All the rushing streams go into the sea. The sea is not filled up, and to the place where the rushing streams went, there they shall return to go again. All wearied words a man shall not be able to speak, and the eyes shall not be filled up to see. The ears shall not be filled of hearing. What is the thing taking place? The same thing as shall be taking place. What is the thing being done? The same thing that shall be done. And there is not anything newly made under the sun. Who shall speak and shall say, Behold, this is new. Already it has happened into the eons, to the ones having taken place from before us. There is no remembrance to the first things, and indeed to the last things, being there will not be a remembrance of them, with the ones being born at the latter end. I am ecclesiastic, became king over Israel and Jerusalem, and I gave my heart to inquire, and to survey by wisdom concerning all things happening under the heavens. For God gave a wicked distraction to the sons of men to be distracting to him. I beheld all the actions, the ones being done under the sun. Behold, all was folly and a resolve of spirit. The thing being perverted is not able to be embellished, and deficiency is not able to be counted. I spoke in my heart to say, Behold, I was magnified, and was added wisdom over all who came before me in Jerusalem. I give my heart to know wisdom and knowledge, and my heart beheld much wisdom and knowledge, parables and higher knowledge. For I knew even indeed this is resolve of spirit. For in abundance of wisdom is abundance of knowledge, and the ones adding knowledge shall add pain. I said in my heart, Come now indeed, and I will test you with gladness, and therefore no good, and behold, also even this is folly. To laughter I said deviation, and to gladness, Why do you do this? I surveyed in my heart, and would draw my flesh with wine. My heart guided me in wisdom, and to hold upon gladness, until I should see what kind was good to the sons of men, which they shall do under the sun, which they numbered days of life. I magnified my action. I built to myself houses, and I planted my vineyards. I made to myself gardens and parks, and I planted in them a tree for every fruit. I made to myself pools of waters, to water by them the grove bursting forth reeds. I acquired manservants and maidservants. Native-born servants were born to me, and indeed a possession of a great herd and flock became to me above all the ones being before me in Jerusalem. I brought together to myself also indeed silver and indeed gold, prized possessions of kings and of the places. I prepared to myself male singers and female singers, an amusement of the sons of man, and male wine servants and female wine servants. I became magnified, and proceeding in wisdom past all the ones being before me in Jerusalem, and indeed before my wisdom was established to me. All whatever my eyes asked for was not at a distance from them, and I did not detain my heart from any gladness, for my heart was gladdened in all my effort. This was my portion of all my effort, and I looked upon all my actions, the things which I did by my hands, and on the effort in which I made an effort to do. Behold, all things were folly, and a resolve of spirit. There is no advantage under the sun. I looked around to behold wisdom, and deviation, and folly. But who is the man who will come after counsel with as much as they did it? I beheld that there is an advantage to wisdom over folly, has the advantage of the light over the darkness. The wise man, his eyes are in his head, but the fool goes in darkness. And I knew, even indeed I, that I even event shall meet with all them. I said in my heart, as the event of the fool is even indeed to me, it shall meet up with me. Why have I discerned wisdom? And this extra I said in my heart, because the fool from out of abundance speaks, for even indeed this is folly. For there is no remembrance of the wise man, but the fool into the eon. And so far as already the coming days all things are forgotten, how shall the wise man die with the fool? I was detested with life, for evil was upon me, and the actions of doing a thing under the sun, for all is folly and a resolve of spirit. I detested all my effort which I made an effort under the sun, for I must leave it to the man coming after me. And who, if he will be a wise man, knows or a fool, and if he exercises authority in all my efforts, in which I made an effort in, and in which I gained discernment under the sun, even indeed this is folly. I turned to dismiss my heart upon all effort, in which I made an effort under the sun. For there is a man that made his effort in wisdom, and in knowledge, and in courage, and a man in whom did not make an effort. In him he will give to him his portion. Indeed, this is folly and great wickedness. What happens to the man in all his effort, and in resolve of his heart, in which he makes it an effort under the sun? For in all his days are pains and rage of his distractions. Indeed, in night his heart does not go to bed. Indeed, for this is folly. There is not a good thing to man unless to eat and to drink, and to show his soul good in his efforts. Indeed, this I knew, that it is from the hand of God. For who shall eat, and who shall drink besides him? For to the man, to the one going before his face, he gave wisdom, and knowledge, and gladness. And to the one sinning he gave distractions to be added, and to bring together, so as to give to the good man before the face of God. For even indeed this is folly, and a resolve to speak. To all the time and season, to everything under the sun, a season to give birth, and a season to die, a season to plant, and a season to pluck out the thing being planted, a season to kill, and a season to heal, a season to demolish, and a season to build, a season to weep, and a season to laugh, a season to lament, and a season to dance, a season to throw stones, and a season to gather stones, a season to embrace, and a season to be far from embrace, a season to seek, and a season to lose, a season to keep, and a season to cast out, a season to tear, and a season to sow, a season to be quiet, a season to speak, a season to be fond of, and a season to detest, a season of war, and a season of peace. But what advantage of the one doing things in which he makes an effort? I saw with the distraction which God gave to the sons of men to be distracting to him, all which he made is good in his season, and indeed with the aeon he gave in their heart, so that man should not find the action which God did from beginning to end. I knew that there is no good in them, except to be glad and to do good in his life. Indeed, every man who shall eat and shall drink and should behold good in all his effort, it is a gift of God. I knew that all things, as many as God did, they shall be unto the aeon. Unto them it is not to add, and from them it is not to remove. God did that, they should fear from in front of him. The thing becoming already is, and as much as there is to be already has become. God shall seek the thing pursuing. And still I beheld under the sun the place of the judgment, there the impious one, and a place of the just there was the pious one. I said in my heart, with the just and with the impious, God will judge, for there is a season for everything, and for every action there. I said in my heart concerning the speech of the sons of man, that God will examine them, and to show them they are beasts. Indeed to them the event of the sons of man, and the events of the beast is one event to them. As the death of this one, so also the death of this other one, and one breath do all. And what abounded the man more than the cattle? Nothing, for all things are folly. All things go to one place, and all things came from the dust. All things return to the dust. Who has known the spirit of the sons of man, if it ascends itself upward, and the spirit of the beast, if it goes down itself below it into the earth? I saw that there is no good except where a man shall be glad in his actions, for it is a portion. For who will lead him to see in whatever, and should take place after him? Wherein I turned and beheld all the extortioners, the ones happening under the sun. Behold, the terror of the ones being extorted, and there is not one comforting them. And by the hand of ones extorting them was by strength, and there is not one comforting them. I praised all of the ones having died, of the ones already dying more than the living, as many as lived unto the present. Better above these two which not yet were born, which knew not all the evil action being done under the sun. I beheld all the effort and courage of action, for all the same zeal of man is from his companion. And indeed this is folly and resolve of spirit. The fool embraces his hands and eats his flesh. Better a handful full of rest than 2 handfuls full of trouble and resolve of spirit. I turned, and I saw folly under the sun. There is one alone, and there is not a second. Indeed, there is no son, nor indeed a brother to him, and there is no limit to all his effort. Indeed, his eye is not satisfied of riches, and saying, why do I make an effort, and deprive my soul of goodness? Indeed, this is folly, and an evil distraction. Better the two than the one, in which there is to them a good wage in their efforts. For if they should fall, the one shall raise his partner, but woe to him, to the one, whenever he should fall, and there should not be a second to raise him. And if 2 should go to bed and heat themselves, then the one, how shall he heat himself? If one prevails against the one, the 2 shall stand against him, and the 3-stranded cord shall not be quickly ripped apart. Better a needy and wise child than an older and foolish king, who does not know how to heed any longer. For from out of the house of the prisoners he shall come forth to reign, for even indeed in his kingdom he was needy. I beheld all of the living of the ones walking under the sun, with the young of the 2nd generation, who will stand in place of him. There is no limit to all the people, to all as many as was before them. Indeed, the last shall not be glad in himself, for even indeed this is folly and a resolve of spirit. Guard your foot whenever you should go into the house of God and are near to him, Let your sacrifice be above the gifts of the fools, for they are not knowing to do bad. Do not hasten with your mouth, and let not your heart hasten to bring forth a word before the presence of God. For God is in the heaven upward, and you are upon the earth. Upon this let your words be few. For a dream comes through in a multitude of testing, and the voice of a fool in a multitude of words. As when you vow a vow to God, you shall not pass time to render it, for his will is not in foolish vows. You then, as much as you should have vowed, render. Better for you to not make a vow than for you to make a vow and not repay. You should not give your mouth to lead your flesh into sin, and you should not say before the presence of God that it is in ignorance, lest God should be provoked to anger at your voice, and should utterly destroy the things made by your hands. For in a multitude of dreams and follies and many words that with God you should fear. If you should see extortion of the needy, and seizure by lawsuit and judicial right in a place, you should not wonder over the thing. For a high one shall guard above a high one, and high ones over them. The abundance of the earth is for all. Even a king needs the working of a field. The one loving silver shall not be filled of silver, nor one who loved the offspring in their abundance. Indeed, this is folly. In a multitude of goodness, the ones eating of it are multiplied. And what courageousness thing is it to the one having fun, but the sum of the seeing with his eyes? Sleep is sweet for the servant, if he shall eat little or if much, and to the one being filled to be rich there is none allowing him to sleep. This is the sickness which I beheld under the sun, riches being kept by him for his hurt. Those riches shall be destroyed in an evil distraction, and he engenders a son. There is not anything in his hand. As he came forth from the womb of his mother naked, he shall return to go as he comes, and nothing shall he take in his effort, that it should go with him in his hand. Indeed, this is an evil sickness, for as he came, so also he shall go forth. And what is his advantage in which he makes an effort into the wind? Indeed, all his days are in darkness and in mourning, and much rage and sickness and bitter anger. Behold, I saw good, which is good to eat and to drink, and to see goodness, in all his efforts in whatever he should make an effort in under the sun, in the number of days of his life which God gave to him, for it is his portion. Indeed, every man to whom God gave to him riches and possessions, and gave to him authority to eat from it, and to take his portion, and to be glad in his effort, for this is a gift of God. He will not much remember the days of his life, for God distracts him in the gladness of his heart. There is a wickedness which I beheld under the sun, and it is abundant with men. A man to whom God shall give to him wealth and possessions and glory, and there is nothing lacking to his soul from all things which he shall desire. Yet God shall not give authority to him to eat from it. For a man, a stranger shall eat it, and this is folly and an evil sickness. If a man should engender 100, and shall live many years, and however abundant will be the days of his years, his soul shall not be filled up from goodness, and indeed there be no burial for him. I said, better for him the miscarriage. For in folly he came, and in darkness he goes. In darkness his name shall be covered. And indeed he knew not the sun, and this one knows not rest over this other one. And if he lived 1,000 years of returns, and he knows not goodness, is it not unto one place all shall go? Every effort of man is for his mouth, and indeed the soul shall not be filled. For what advantage to the wise over the fool? For the needy knows to go in front of life. Better vision of eyes than going in life. For indeed this is folly, and the resolve of spirit. If anything became, already its name has been called, and it is known that man he is not able to judge against the one stronger than he. For there are many matters multiplying folly. What extra is to man? For who knows what is good to man in life? During the number of the life of the days of his folly, he spent them as a shadow. For who shall report to man what will be after him under the sun? For a good name is above good oil, and the day of death above the day of birth. It is good to go into a house of mourning than to go into a house of a banquet, in so far as this is the end of every man, and the living man will give good to his heart. For better is rage than laughter, for by hurt of countenance the heart will be made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, and the heart of fools is in the house of gladness. It is good to hear the reproach of the wise, than for a man to hear songs of fools. As the sound of the thorn bushes burning under the kettle, so the laughter, the one of the fools, and indeed this is folly. For extortion drives the wise man mad, and destroys the magnanimity of his heart. Better the last of matters than its beginning, better the lenient than high spirit. You should not hasten in your spirit to be enraged, for rage shall rest in the bosom of fools. You shall not say, what happened that the former days were good over these? For you ask not in wisdom concerning this. Wisdom is good with an allotment and abundance to the ones viewing the sun. For wisdom in its shadow is as the shadow of silver, and the advantage of the knowledge of wisdom will restore to life the one having it. Behold the actions of God, for who shall be able to adorn whatever God should turn from him? In the day of goodness, live in good, and look out in the day of evil. Behold, indeed, with one God caused harmony with concerning speech, that man should not find anything after him. All things I beheld in days of my folly. There is a just man being destroyed in his justice, and there is an impious man abiding in his evil. Do not become super righteous, nor discern extra, lest at any time you should be overwhelmed. You should not be super impious, and do not become hard, that you should not die in your time. It is good for you to hold fast by this. Indeed, of this you should not defile your hand, for to the ones fearing God all things shall go forth. Wisdom will give help to the wise one over 10 exercising authority of the ones being in the city. There is no just man on the earth, who shall do good and shall not sin. Indeed, unto all the words which they shall speak, you should not put them to your heart, so that you should not hear your servant cursing you. For very often he will act wickedly against you, and returning many times he shall inflict your heart. That is also indeed you cursed others. All these things I tested in wisdom, and said I shall be discerning, but it was far from me, far above what was, and the deep depths, who shall find it? I and my heart circled about to know, and to survey, and to seek wisdom, and the reckoning of things, and to know the impious man's foolishness, and rioting, and deviation. And I find her more bitter than death, with the woman in which her heart is snares and dragnets, and a bond in her hands. He that is good before the face of God shall be delivered from her, and the one sinning will be seized with her. Behold, this I found, since the ecclesiastic, counting one by one to find a device, which my soul anxiously sought, and I did not find. Even one man from out of 1,000 did I find, and a woman among all these I did not find. Except, behold, this I found, that God dealt with the upright man, and they sought many devices. Who knows the wise, and who knows the loosening of a saying? O son, you should not be jealous of evil men, nor should you desire to be with them. For their heart meditates on lying, and their lips speak of miseries. A house is built with wisdom, and is erected with skillfulness. With good sense, the storerooms are filled up of all valuable and good wealth. A wise man is better than a strong man, a man of intelligence than one having a great farm. For war takes place with guidance, but help comes with the heart of a counselor. Wisdom and good insight are in the gates of the wise. The wise do not turn aside from the law of the Lord, but consider things in the Sanhedrins. But the uninstructed ones meet with death. The fool dies and sins, uncleanness to a pestilent man. He shall be contaminated in the evil day, and in the day of affliction, until whenever he should cease. Rescue the ones being led unto death, and buy off the ones for slaying. You should not spare. But if you should say, I do not know this, then know that the Lord knows the heart of all, even the one shaping the breath in all. He knows all things. He is the one who renders to each according to his works. Eat honey, O son, for the honeycomb is good, that your throat should be sweetened. For thus you shall perceive wisdom in your soul. For if you should find it, your decease will be good, and hope shall not forsake you. You should not lead the impious to the pasture of the just, nor should you be deceived in filling the belly. For 7 times the just shall fall and rise up, but the impious will weaken in evils. If your enemy should fall, you should not rejoice over him, and in his fall be not lifted up. For the Lord shall see it, and it will not please him, and he will return his rage upon him. Do not rejoice over one's doing evil, nor be jealous of sinners. For in no way shall there be a progeny of wicked ones, and the torch of the impious shall be extinguished. Fear God, O son, and the king, and to neither one of them should you resist persuasion. For suddenly they will pay the impious, and the punishment of both, who shall know? But these things I say to you, to the wise, to realize that to stand in awe of a person in a judgment is not good. The one, having said the impious is just, will be accursed among the peoples, and detested among the nations. But the ones reproving shall appear the best, and a good blessing shall come upon them. But lips shall kiss the ones answering with good words. Prepare your works for the departure, and make preparations for the field, and go after them. you shall rebuild your house. Do not be a lying witness against your fellow countrymen, nor open wide with your lips. You should not say, in which manner he treated me, I shall treat him, and I shall pay him who wronged me. A foolish man is as a farm, and a man lacking of senses is a vineyard. If you should let it go barren, then it should become entirely overgrown, and falling takes place. Its offenses of stones shall be raised. Afterwards I changed my mind. I looked to choose instruction. I slumber a little, I sleep soundly a little. I fold my hands to my breast a little. But if you should do this, then poverty shall come before you, and lack as a good runner.
Acts 20:31-34. Therefore watch and remember that by the space of 3 years I ceased not to warn every one night and day with tears. And now, brethren, I command you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and give you an inheritance among all them which are sanctified. I have coveted no man's silver or gold or apparel. Yea, ye yourselves know that these hands have ministered unto my necessities, and to them that were with me. When Cornelius Vanderbilt died in 1877, he was considered to be the richest man in the world. He left the bulk of his vast fortune, accumulated through his railroad and shipping businesses, to his son William, along with the instructions: keep the money together. The total William inherited was $95 million, almost $3 billion in today's money, which was more than an entire holding for the U.S. Treasury at the time. When William Vanderbilt died, the fortune had more than doubled. He left an inheritance of over $200 million, more than $6 billion today, to those who came after him. The third generation, however, frittered it away, and it is said in the fourth generation of the family, there is not a single millionaire to be found. Earthly inheritance, no matter how large, can be diminished, squandered, or lost, but the inheritance God gives his children is entirely different. It is secure in Christ and cannot be exhausted by those who receive it. Peter described it as an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you. Yet as Paul's words in Acts 20 reminded us, God's provisions for his children is not only future. He has given us his word to build us up in the present. Through Scripture, God gives us the truth, the wisdom, the correction, and the encouragement that we need to grow in grace and live as those who belong to him. For the fortunes of this world eventually pass away, but what God gives us through his word and promise to us in Christ will never be depleted.